Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day everyone. Okay, our class in week 9 will focus on chapter 9 which is on communication. Okay, as I mentioned to you in our earlier chapter, okay, communication and management are closely related or linked. Each of the management role or management function or management task that you have learned, which is planning, organizing, leading and controlling, basically depends on effective communication between bosses and subordinate or manager and subordinate. Manager must be able to receive accurate information to determine plan, and they must be able to send accurate information for the plan to be implemented to people in the organization. So when information is accurately sent and received, everyone in the organization can be well informed and they will carry out the plan successfully. However, okay, when information is misinterpreted or when incorrect information spread in the organization, communication can create significant problem for the organization. This will be the learning objective of this chapter. Okay, so as I mentioned to you just now, okay, definition of communication is the process of exchanging information between two or more people. Okay, uh, in other words, okay, communication process is the process of sharing of information between two or more individual or group to reach a common understanding. Okay, so this communication is a human endeavor and involve individual and groups. And this process does not take place unless a common understanding is reached between the individuals or group. As managers, okay, since you need to communicate with others to perform their various roles and tasks in the organization, manager is basically spend most of their time for communicating. Okay, manager must also help their subordinate or colleague or people in the organization to be effective communicators. So when all members in the organization can communicate effectively with one another and with people inside and outside the organization, so the organization is much more likely to perform highly and gain a competitive edge. So special performance. When manager and other member of an organization are ineffective communicator, so what will happen? So the organization performance will suffer. Okay, they will have low level of high organizational performance, and the competitive advantage of the organization might be lost. These are the importance of good communication. Okay, why is it important to implement good communication, or why is it important to use good communication in organization? Because the first one is increasing efficiency in new technology and skill. How? Okay. So good communication is necessary so that manager can increase efficiency by learning to take advantage of new and more efficient technology and by training workers to operate the new technology. Second, good communication also can improve quality of product and services of the organization. So how? For example, the first one, okay, at the first place, manager need to communicate to all members of an organization the meaning and importance of high quality and the routes to attaining it for the product and services. Then, subordinate need to communicate quality problem and suggestion related to the product or services for increasing quality to their bosses, and members of self-manager work team need to share their ideas on improving the quality of the product and services with each other. Therefore, this communication process will improve quality of product and services. The importance of good communication number 3 is increasing responsiveness to customer. So, how? Okay. As manager, you will empower your organizational member to communicate effectively with your customer in order to deliver the needs and desire of the customer. So this will result in better response to the customer needs and want. So when you practice good communication with your customer, okay, so basically this will result in good response to changing customer preference or need and desire. Good communication also is important, especially in a cross-functional team. When we talk about cross-functional team, the cross-functional team is a situation in which two different teams come together in order to achieve one goal. So when you communicate in this cross-functional team, you need to communicate good communication. You need to initiate new communication style. So because of this communication style, of course, okay, the initiative and new style of communication will result in innovation for the cross-functional team, in which you will find the best way to communicate effectively with each other. Then, talking about communication process, there are two common phases of communication process. The first one is transmission phase, and then second phase is feedback phase. Okay, the transmission phase is basically the original communication process that involves the sharing of information between two or more individuals. For example, from sender to receiver, the original version of communication process, known as transmission phase. Second phase is feedback phase. The feedback phase is the process that will start with the receiver, who will turn to be the sender, and then give feedback to the sender, that will turn to be the receiver. So this is the feedback phase. Feedback phase is in the process of the receiver giving feedback information about the message to the sender.